All right, well, welcome to today's Daily Gravity. It is Daily Gravity number 17. All right, so I want to share with you what I'm calling the Daily 4 OEB needle movers. OEB stands for Online Education Business, which, by the way, I've been watching the stats and the growth, and a couple of things occurred to me. Number one, back in the day before we had, let's say, corporate, or we had a place where you could just go get a job, everybody was kind of like a freelancer or an entrepreneur. They created their own wealth by doing different skilled things. I know my grandpa used to do blacksmith work. He was also a farmer. He would, sharpen shears. He would go do random things for people, and he had this skill set of blacksmithing, metalwork, carpentry, farmer, just, like that, right? And then he eventually settled on farming. Ultimately, as his body said, blacksmithing wasn't really the way to go. And the reason I tell you that is because we went through this like bell curve thing where it started out entrepreneur, figure out your thing, skilled tradesman type thing. And then it was like, oh, we can go work for people and make money. And then all of a sudden it's starting to be like, well, I want that control back. I want to do what it is that I love. I don't know if I feel like doing that thing that, somebody else has laid out for me. I want to build my own deal. And we're kind of moving back into that. And so I tell you that because this whole online education business thing, a lot of people talk trash on it, right? They're like, oh, it's just courses, a bunch of people, courses, teaching courses and all this stuff. When in reality, it's probably one of the best, if not the best way to go as an entrepreneur in today's world. And I believe that, right now they're saying 36% of the population are freelancers, like people that are actually working. And so I believe that it's going to, keep going and doubling and tripling on that and just continuing to grow because people are realizing that they can go get the skills that they need, create the type of income that they want without having to go spend, 50 G's or 100 G's or even 20 G's on an education, doing a bunch of things that you don't need to do to try to get to something where it's just going to be a job that you're going to get that's going to probably pay you average. And so by creating an online education business, getting skilled in a specific area, and taking that to the market and helping other people learn how to do what it is that they want to do without having to go through all the rigmarole of college and all of those things, you can create a top 1% or higher income, get paid better than the top 95% of people out there. And you're actually making a huge impact. You're changing a big, big part of the world while you are here and leaving. And this is something that people can grab and learn all the time. And I can only tell you this because online courses literally drastically changed my life altogether. So I'm very high proponent of this. It's why I do this. And I hope that it inspires you to want to continue to do it and know that it's a very viable, very profitable, very helpful, very, in my opinion, loyal thing that you can be doing to the earth, right? I think it's a very powerful, noble thing. And so, helping other people learn how to do something that they didn't know how to do before, and it allows them to live a different, better life. This is great. So, be proud of what it is, be proud of what you're doing and love this. But I want to show you how to grow this thing. So on the daily, this is keeping it simple, but don't underestimate the simplicity here. This grows the business every day. That's why I call it the Daily 4 Online Education Business Needle Movers. And I challenge you, and I really do challenge you to try to do this consistently for 90 days and tell me if it don't just blow your mind. I've seen this happen not only for myself, but others. And this is a powerful, powerful, simple, easy to do, anyone can do thing. So I've created a graphic that you can download here. I'm going to be going over it right here. So let's take a look at this and let's make this happen. Okay. So I'm going to move my little camera right in here because it looks like a cool place to put it. So there's only 5 ways to get customers, all right? There's only 5 ways to get customers, and that would be right here. You can reach out to people privately, Okay, so you can, DM somebody, you can call them, you can go meet with them, you can go manually go grab somebody and do that. You can, 2, make content, which is my absolute and utter favorite, not only because it's a great way to prove your authority, great way to prove that you can actually help somebody by actually helping somebody ahead of time, but it's something that allows you to become better at your craft. You get better at all parts of the business because in doing content, you're learning about your message, your people. You have to understand your customer better. You have to understand yourself better. And you're creating something that stays out there working for you day in and day out, ongoing, forever and ever, continuing to bring you business because you're putting out goodwill and helpful things out into the internet. And I think that this is very, very good. The next thing is you can run paid ads. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing is when you stop paying for the ads, that goes away. And I like to create something that as I keep putting stuff out there, it's like another notch into the world of where I'm coming out there saying, hey, I can help you with this thing. You can do this thing. Let's do it. And so I like the content part, but you can use these together, right? 80% content, 20% ads. Ads are great, right? They cost money, and it's basically a law of diminishing returns kicking in at a certain point where you can't make more than you're spending, but it's a way to get moving real quick, but it's a way to get customers, run paid ads. The next thing is get affiliates and partners. So once you've proven out your product, once you've shown, absolute that it is going to do what it needs to do in the time that it should do it with the people that it's designed for, then you can get affiliates and partners, and you can show other people how this thing is so valuable to maybe their audience, and then they can share it. You can split the revenue with them. You could, partner up with other people that have similar customers to yours that could benefit, and you guys can do that. So that's another way to get customers. And then the 5th way I highlighted here because it's the most powerful of all is when your customers tell other customers. And nothing can beat that because 1 can get 2, 2 can get 4, 4 can get 8, and it can compound extremely fast. But today, and what I want to talk to you about and what I focus on every single day is making content and helping and hoping and ensuring that my customers tell other customers, which they have been, and thank you very much. So let's look at these. We're going to talk about these needle movers here in terms of what we can do each and every day. So I want you to think of this like as your daily diet to grow your business. And I really want you to think and take this serious and I want you to prove me wrong. I challenge you to do this, to keep it simple and to prove this wrong, because I assure you it is going to rock your world in a very positive way. So the first one over here would be create one less than 15-minute long form video and upload it to YouTube. I'm going to talk about this even more in pillar number 7 with the fractal marketing method. But at the end of the day, take what it is that you do to solve somebody's problem and map that out. What do you do from step 1 to step done? And inside of there is every single piece of content that you'll ever need to create. And you can pluck out an idea, pluck out a part of the process, pluck out a step, and then you can share with people why that step exists, how it helps them get to the end result. And then towards the end of that video, you can say, hey, this is just one piece of an entire pie that we have to get you to that resolve, or to get you the answer, or to get you the solution. So I just wanted to share this part with you to help you understand, what it is that we do to help you solve your problem. So if you want to learn more, down in the description of this video, I have a free training or a free demo or a free whatever, and that's going to be your lead magnet, which we talk about in pillar number 4. But this is where you drive them to your funnel. You're always driving everyone to your funnel. In all of these action items that I'm going to give you here today in the daily 4, they're all leading to the funnel. And I'm going to be sharing in depth on how to do that, but it's as simple as have your funnel. For me, it's makeonce.com. So everything that I do always, encapsulates that somewhere. Here it is down here at the bottom. Not that this is like a marketing video, but I could release this on YouTube today, and then I could take this exact same thing and I could create, the next step, which is these short form videos, right? From this one single graphic. And what I'm sharing with you now is actually just a step out of the 9-pillar program of Build Lab that gets people from start to finish, or from I don't have an online education business to I have an online education business with a product, with a community, with a support system, and I'm able to market it, and I'm able to grow it and create income by helping other people solve their problems online. So I'm just taking a piece of this, I'm using it as today's daily gravity, or I could use it as my YouTube video for today. And then from this, you go into action item number 2. So you create this one first, because this becomes the source of action item number 2, which is create 5 less than 1 minute short form videos, and then upload them to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Shorts, and Twitter. You can put them on any platform, but I feel like these ones right here are going to be really good for you. They're like the top, right? So, but you just need, ultimately you could just use one of them and post 5, but it's so simple to post them on all of these. So I just do it quickly. I go ahead and you can take literally footage straight out of your 15-minute video here, and you can find 5 1-minute videos. And you can make it longer than 15 minutes, but they say the best length for a YouTube video, just on average across the board, is around 12 minutes. So I feel like in keeping it that short, you can really make something simple. And the way I like to do it is I think of what I want to talk about, and then I create a little graphic like this. Like today, I was like, what am I going to share with them on the daily gravity? And I thought, well, why don't we talk about the daily 4 needle movers? And so I just created this little graphic. I was like, a needle mover, so this is a little speedometer. And then I was like, I just need 4 circles, and I'm going to write in them and highlight some stuff and tell them, and then boom, we've got a good piece of content here. And this is what I call a disruptive visual that I'll teach you about we'll learn it all throughout the program, but I talk to you mainly about it in pillar number 7. But this is what I mean by disruptive visual. Nobody's going to see this anywhere else because I just created it, right? So it's disruptive that they're like, what is that? I've never seen that before. There's nothing fancy about this. I have a title, I have some words and some circles, and I found this little graphic right here. Over here in the little icon finder, I just hit this and typed in speedometer, and I grabbed one of these, and kaboom, there it is, right? So you want to take, now you have a couple options. You can take it from your 15-minute video and chop out little 1-minute chunks, which that'll work just fine, and it connects the two together because you can kind of reference, be like, hey, if you like this little 1-minute short or this little 1-minute video or this little video here, I've got a full video on this over at my YouTube channel. Now you just cross-pollinated them over from maybe Twitter or from YouTube or from Instagram or TikTok or something. Now they're over to your YouTube channel. Now they're consuming longer content, and they're finding your links in the descriptions to your funnels, which is generating leads. And we know that for every 1,000 leads that we get and generate with our funnel, if we have a great offer, we can expect to sell 1 to 5% of those people. So for every 1,000 leads that we generate with our funnel, we can expect 10 to 50 sales. And this has been dead on with my business. And in many cases, I've seen where it's actually more than that, but that's the average. So it can be an extreme. It could be higher than 5%, okay? But just 1 to 5%, okay? So create these videos. Keep them simple. Keep them simple. There's nothing fancy about this video right now. I'm literally talking to you while I'm recording my video. I'm recording my screen. I'm using Loom to do this. And I just have some simple concepts to discuss with you on here, but actually make a difference. Okay? So action item 1, create one 15-minute, less than 15-minute long-form video and upload it to YouTube. Chop out 5 1-minute chunks of those and create your short forms, or just create 5 short-form videos talking about maybe what you discussed in this one if you'd rather do it that way. Next, get your account on TikTok, and if you're posting 5 TikToks every day, you will get your account on TikTok to 1,000 subscribers faster than you'll ever think, especially if you're providing real good value. And then go live on TikTok between 1 to 2 hours a day talking about your topic that you created in your long form video. So like today, when I go live, I can talk about this thing, which maybe I'll just take this thing and turn it into a YouTube video, and then I'll chop out 5 1-minute chunks out of this, and then I'll go live and talk about it today on TikTok. And then, of course, what I would do next is I would email this out to my email list, and I'd use the value train system to do that. And the value train system, as I talked about in previous Daily Gravities, is where we don't just email somebody to the YouTube link because then they get distracted and pulled away over at YouTube. Instead, what we do is we send them to a page that looks like this, right? We send them to a page where on that page, we put the YouTube video that we created like this, so there's no distractions, okay? And then we put the title of the YouTube video up here, and then after 1 minute, we have our button show up here that takes them to what? It takes them to our sales page where they can sign up for our online education product, or our course that has a community and has the weekly support, okay? So this works really, really good. This is our value train page. It's literally just a 1 page, and then we link over to, because they're already on our list here, so now we're not linking to the funnel, we're linking straight to the buy page, okay? So with this TikTok thing, when you're talking on the TikTok live, like when you go live on TikTok, I haven't seen anything perform like TikTok live. It's better than running ads. Like you can get on for an hour or two, okay? And the only reason you'd go for 2 hours is because it's just awesome and you're getting lots of leads. But you can go on TikTok, talk to your audience live, learn everything you need to learn about them, and you can generate as many. I used to run ads, and I was running a couple $100 a day in ads, and we got up to like 3,000 a day at one point. But my goal is like with my ads each day, if I could generate, 100 leads was always the goal, because if I did 100 leads, I would get, anywhere from 1 to 2 sales. Of course, I was selling a really high ticket item at that time, $9,800, $5,800, and we were still doing sales like that. I'm going live on YouTube, on TikTok, and generating the same amount of leads in 1 hour without having to spend money on ads. Now, I have other people that go live on TikTok and they're like, well, I'm not generating the type of leads that I want to generate. To them, I say, when you're doing the live, are you consistently letting them know that, hey, if you go to my website and you either point at the board or on the page or where, whatever I usually use like a, little whiteboard or something like this. I've got something somewhere, and I've always got, free training at makeonce.com as I'm helping them do stuff, or I've got like my other whiteboard, and I always am pointing to that. I'm like, hey, listen, if you're just jumping in here, or if you've got to go and you want to know about XYZ, go to makeonce.com. I've got a free training over there. You generate those leads, they jump into your funnel, they get those automated emails coming to them, and kaboom, it does the thing, right? So, it's amazing. If you're not doing that on your lives, though, if you're not consistently in your content always referencing that you've got this free training that they can go check out, then you're not going to generate the leads like you would normally if you were doing that. So if you're not generating leads, remember that we just follow the chain of events that's happening and we fix them as we go. Meaning, and let's just look at this. I will we can put it right here, and then we'll end on this, okay? So here's how it goes. Like whenever I see somebody's business or something and we're trying to figure out what's wrong with it, what we'll do is we'll do the chain of events. It's like, okay, from traffic, so you're getting traffic. How are you getting traffic? The first question is, are people clicking and going from your content, your live? Are they going over to your landing page or your funnel? That's the first event that happens. Is that happening? Yes or no? If it's not happening, then what's the problem? The problem is the traffic area. What would be the problem? Well, if we're posting content and we're not getting clicks from it, what does that mean? that means that what we're talking about in our content is not relatable, it's not relevant to them, it's not inspiring them, it's not connecting with them. And so what do we need to do? We need to create better content. We need to create content that solves a problem. We need to create content that addresses a problem that they're having in their process of going from current situation to desired situation. Like I always draw this right here. Because remember, our business is designed to solve problems, correct? So if there's a person out there that has a current situation that they're not happy about, they're going to be searching for it, a way to fix it. So if you're to get traffic, you go out there and say, hey, if you're this person and you're dealing with this problem that they would have, okay, and you don't know how to get over this problem, watch this video because I'm going to show you some steps that'll help you get past this problem. And as you teach them one of those steps or a part of this process, you can say, now I've got a free training. If you go down in the description, you can go check it out. And that's the click, right? That's what we get them over to the landing page. The landing page is where we collect the email. So let's assume now that they are clicking, okay? Because you're talking about that specific person and their problem, and you're showing them a way to get through it, little by little pieces. You're taking little fractals off of the core product and solution, and you're showing them little pieces of it, kind of like when you're walking through the mall. And you walk by the little food court there in the mall, and the Chinese place always has like somebody standing there with a little piece of meat on a toothpick, and they hand it to you in hopes that if you eat a little bit of it, you'll go yum and want a full plate. That's the same way we think about our content. We take what we would normally give them, a full plate that they would pay for, our course, our program, and we pull a little piece out of it and say, try this on, try this. And that's what we do with our content each day. And that drives them to the full training, okay, the free training here. So they click over and go to that. And then the question is, are they opting in? If they're not opting in, what's the problem? Well, the problem is there was a disconnect from what you said over here in the content and the traffic to the landing page. And now they're like, wait, I thought this was about this. I'm confused. Or the offer. The offer's wrong. It's not a good enough offer. And remember, there's only 4 things that we can change when it comes to, making changes with our content, anything in the business. Number 1 is, these are the 4 different knobs. If your landing page isn't converting, if your content isn't converting, if your emails aren't converting, if your offer isn't converting, here's the 4 things, the only 4 things that we can change. What it says. Okay, so we can change the messaging on it. A lot of times this is the problem, okay? They don't understand what you're offering, so we have to work on that, okay? We can also change what it looks like, okay? So what are the graphics on the page? What is the page layout? Is it too busy? Is it too confusing? Is there too much stuff? Is it not relatable? Does it not seem the same? And this is, again, applied to emails, applied to your content, applied to your ads, applied to everything that you create. These 4 things are the only things. The next thing is, what is the offer? So what is the actual offer? The offer is like, hey, I'm going to show you how to create an online education business. And then what it says, if I don't say that correctly, what I'm offering, it messes it up, okay? So the offer is ultimately the number 1 thing, because that determines then what you're going to say and then what it would look like. And then the 4th thing is who you're inviting, basically. So those are the next things. It's like, who are you attracting? Okay. So if you're attracting the wrong person because you're talking the wrong way, or you're basically attracting somebody that's just a looky-loo, or you're not talking deep enough to the real core customer, then it's not going to work either. This is typically not the problem, though. If you've done the rest of it right, this one's really not the problem. But if you're getting the wrong people to the stuff, it's not going to work, right? So these are the only 4 things that we can change: who we show it to, the offer we're making, what it looks like, and the messaging, what it says. Okay, so when we go to the landing page, if it's not converting, then that's the question. It's like, well, let's change one of these things at a time, and then we'll come back and run some more traffic, usually another 100 people, and say, did it get better or worse? We do less of what works, more of what, or we do more of what works, less of what doesn't work. Sorry. And you just change one thing at a time, because if you change two things at a time, then you don't know what change made the difference. Okay? So you want to keep it simplified, kind of like an experiment. Well, Mike, this is going to take time. Yes, it does. Okay? That's why most people don't plant trees, because it takes too long. Okay? They want that instant gratification. If you can just keep going each day, and I promise you, getting another 100 people there is no big deal if you're doing these 4 action items that we just talked about. All right, so if they're opting in, but then they're not buying, what's the problem? It's the offer that's being made in your sales video. All right? Or the offer that you're making on your sales page. All right? And so then also when they go to the landing page and opt in, guess what? They start getting emails. Well, what happens if they're not opening the emails? Well, it's because the subject line sucks. Or you didn't present it to them. Hey, I sent you an email. It's got some great stuff in it that you want. Go check it out. If they are opening the email, but they're not clicking in the email, what's the problem? The body copy in the email. Well, then what do I do, Mike, if it is the body copy in the email? Well, what it says, what it looks like, what you're offering in it, okay, these are probably the problems. If they've opted in and opened the email, you probably have this one correct. It's probably most likely this right here. It's usually the messaging, which is why everybody goes copywriting, copywriting, copywriting. But if you want to do copywriting, just remember, it's the same old thing. Problem, agitate, solve. Hey, do you have this problem? Sucks, doesn't it? Because this happens, this happens, this happens. Do you want the solution? Boom. That's copywriting. One thing that I learned from Ogilvy when I was studying copywriting, he was a very, billion-dollar ad agency copywriter, David Ogilvy. He's Ogilvy and Mather. That's still a huge agency. He said something one time that blew my mind, and that was, you don't create the copy. The customer does. You go find what they're saying about their problem, what they're saying about their current situation, and you hear what they're saying about what they're going through as they're trying to get to the desired situation. And you just re-say that back to them, and you're just organizing what they said and saying it back to them and showing them, hey, we've got a solution to this. So your customers are writing your copy, not you. So when it comes to copywriting, don't make it harder than that. Okay? So if the emails are getting clicked on and they're going to the sales page here, okay, we'll call this the SP, the sales page. If they're going to the sales page or the sales video and they're not converting, what's the problem? The video and the sales page. What do you do about it? Probably what it says. Usually it's not what it looks like. Or the offer. These are the two that you'll probably, this one's the number one thing, and this is like the number 2 thing, as I've said. So, but again, change one thing at a time. Go back, drive traffic to it. Did it get better or worse? It's a constant game of this. You have these inputs that you're putting out there. Your content, your emails, your sales videos, okay, these things, your sales pages, your funnel, and you're putting it out there into the marketplace where it interacts with and mixes with the market. So your inputs mix with the market and they go through this process here, and then you get some sort of output. This is the scientific method. This is how scientists solve problems all the time. It's the same thing we can do in business because business is problem solving. So you'd want to use the most powerful problem solving method if you're a problem solver. We take those outputs that we got. So we had these inputs, our piece of content. We stuck it out there into the marketplace, and it mixed with the marketplace. The content mixed with the marketplace, and we got this output. Was it a positive output? Did it make money? Did it get a lead? Or no? And if it did, what happened? We analyze the output, we take that feedback, and we adjust the inputs. And you keep doing this until you get the output that you want, and then you keep doing that over and over and over, and you master the mundane. And all of this stuff is always happening in some sort of an environment. That environment could be your email list. That environment could be, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Okay, it could be one of these places. But all of this stuff right inside of here, all of the stuff, the input, the mixture, the output, and the feedback is all operating inside of this environment here. So the environment affects all of these things as well. Okay, are those same inputs working the same on TikTok as they do on YouTube? If not, we need to adjust the inputs for YouTube. Okay? We can make it simpler than all that, though. If you just take your core product, the core steps that you get somebody from their current situation to their desired situation here, if you just take this and just pull out a piece of this or a piece of this, because each one of these steps has micro steps inside of it. Just like I have 9 pillars, and inside of each of the 9 pillars, there's 3 modules. Inside of each module, there's certain items that we talk about. You could take any of that fractal, you could take any of those little pieces, you could take a piece out of this piece, which is a piece out of this piece, and you can talk about that, and then you can relate it back to the big picture and tell them if they want to learn more about how to solve that problem, you've got a free training. Go to the description, go to this website. That's how you generate leads. Okay? So that is the best way to create content, because you're actually taking the process, you're documenting in a sense, you're taking that process and that piece and you're sharing with them how it all works together to solve their problem. They'll come to you to get the rest of the solution. So it makes it nice because you can just be yourself, be authentic, share and show them how to solve the problem. And if you can help them make little baby steps, they're going to assume and just probably say, well, if he's helped me for free and helped me get there for free, I can only imagine what he or she's product's going to be like with the support and the community. And that's how you get a new member inside of your program. And you keep repeating those steps. And then before you know it, as we've talked about in the beginning of this, pretty soon your customers get other customers. 1 gets 2, 2 gets 4, 4 gets 8, 8 gets 16, and it compounds much quicker than anything else on the planet in terms of business growth and getting new customers. Content, though, is so powerful because you do the work once, you make it once, and it brings you traffic forever. That's beautiful. Ads, you can make them once, and if you're not paying for them, you don't get traffic. And it's a cost. Okay? It has its place, though. It can be faster, right? So this is why I'm teaching you this, because at the end of the day, if you just have patience, build strong, build consistently with focus, following these simple frameworks here, you will absolutely grow the business. You will grow yourself. You will have something very sustainable, and it'll help you get to where you're going, okay? So that is today's Daily Gravity. You can download this graphic, or you can pause this video, screenshot anything that you need to screenshot, but this right here will help you get her done, okay? So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what else you'd like to learn in the next Daily Gravity. I'm excited, continuing to build out more and more of Build Lab, and I'm excited for you, okay? So let's work together. Let's do this. Prove me wrong. Do these 4 things every day for 90 days and come back and tell me it didn't make a massive positive ROI shift in your business, okay? Because I promise you, you won't be able to say that. You'll be so happy. You'll be like, why did I not do this sooner? Right? All right. I'll see you in the next one.